Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. So much entertainment, it takes 3 stations to get it out. Welcome into the Monday edition of Mornings with the Leaderman. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leaderman's so entertained sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leaderman, all one word, into the search. And if you're on a mobile device just needing audio, try the TuneIn or iTunes platforms. Both of those work well. Many others will also do it for you. And put WEEB in the search, or on our website, that icon in the upper right-hand corner of every web page that says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills. Next 3 days are going to be really challenging as far as the humidity goes. It's just going to be awful out there with dew points around 75 every day. Now, the long-range forecast shows late Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that the dew points retreat a little bit. When I say little, they go from the mid-70s down to 69. But it'll feel significant, as muggy as it's going to be.
Yeah?
So, although it'll still be muggy out there and dangerously hot, you need to, you will feel the relief somewhat. Now, that's a ways away, and the models could change, because this is kind of dependent on 2 systems colliding a little bit and changing the wind direction, so we get a slight northeast flow in addition to our southwest flow that's pumping up all this moisture. That's the best I can explain it without, and me not a meteorologist. Who says I can't comprehend this stuff? But anyway, that's what the latest computer model shows. But I'll run it again this afternoon, and we'll see what it says then.
I have never said that, Steve.
Anyway.
Basic math you struggle with, but
until then, partly cloudy today. That's always bad news. I like it better when it's cloudy. When we were up there at Robbins, the cloudy part wasn't so bad today. When that sun came out and really cooked up that pavement, woof.
Yes, indeed. Driving in, it was a bright sun this morning. I wasn't used to it.
Anyway, partly cloudy today, scattered thunderstorms, just a 30% chance. There's less energy in the atmosphere right now, so less chance of the thunderstorms brewing up, more like showers. But anyway, 30% chance today, 92 for a high. Here's the kicker, heat index of 99. That's because of that dew point being so high at 75. And what's the magic numbers, boys and girls?
65.
No. The magic
63.
The magic numbers are 68 and 63. Anything above 68 starts getting bad quick as far as the dew points. Anything below 63 is paradise in summer. Tonight, partly cloudy. Scattered thunderstorms, a little 74. Then for Tuesday, partly cloudy, more of the same. Scattered thunderstorms, 40% chance tomorrow. 94 high, heat index 98. Wednesday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, high of 93, heat index of 101. And then Thursday, we're just starting to see a slight drop. We'll see dew points in the 72, 71 range. So that heat index is still working in there. It'll be partly cloudy, scattered showers, high of 90, heat index 95. Not as big a spread as you see, because the dew point's coming down. And Friday, they don't mention heat index because we don't get into the 90s. Partly cloudy, scattered showers, and a high of 88.
Fort Huachuca has a dew point of 59. Good morning, Fort Huachuca.
Over the weekend, we'll have the same thing as Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just carbon copies of each other. Partly cloudy, 88 for a high, and a 40% chance of rain throughout the period. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are west-southwest at 5, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3018, dew point 72 and climbing. Humidity 90%. It's sunny 72 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM at 990 AM WEEB. Yeah, we did have a good time up there in Robbins Friday night and Saturday. Got there Friday set up, and a lot of people came by the booth and talked to us, and we were able to explain what it is we want to do if we were elected sheriff. And then about 8 o'clock, the grown-ups went home, and the teenagers came out.
The Intrepid.
And it's kind of like walking up midway at the fair type of thing, situation where the kids were there, and we thought to ourselves, well, let's save our energy till tomorrow when we actually will see a voter. So we went home and came back early Saturday morning, got there at about 8 o'clock, and set back up and watched. Well, good crowd came out Saturday morning. It started about 9. It started really pouring in there. Met a lot of folks, and then at 11 o'clock they had the horse parade. Lots of mules, donkeys, and horses, and some unique carriages that they carried. And that was pretty good. It was a very nice parade. Lots of people in it, a lot more horses than I thought I'd see. And there was this guy before the parade. He was drawing circles in the road at the end of the parade. And I said, okay, you got me. What are the circles for? And they were like, it was circles like on a bingo card. And it was Patty Bingo is what they call it. And this is where the horses, if they drop their patty into the circle that you picked,
yeah,
you pay $50 for a circle.
Ah.
And if the patty hits the bullseye in the circle, then you win money.
Oh, all right.
So it didn't matter which horse hit it. It's just a matter of did your circle get patties in it? And one horse, we weren't too far from the circles, and one horse started unloading right in front of us. I went, what does this say about me? And some guy's yelling at the horses, that's too soon, that's too soon. Wait 100 more feet.
Which answers the age-old question, when is a horse pooping entertainment?
Yeah.
Of course, when you're watching it on the Rose Parade and you know who's coming behind, that's kind of entertainment too. But
so anyway, I didn't bet on that. But everybody was very nice. We had a good time. Then they had the tractor parade at 4 o'clock, and a lot of tractors. Didn't know that many big tractors existed, all cleaned up.
See what I mean? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was we say in the South.
Mm-mm.
So it was a nice event. And one thing I did notice that easily, because when I go to pass out cards, I'm not from here, I'm not from here, I'm not from here. I'd say at least half, if not 60% of the people there were from out of the county, up Seagroves Way or over toward Montgomery County Way. About 40% were the county, but you gotta have to scratch me here. Robbins, I believe the population is 1,200 officially, somewhere in that area, for the town itself. Now, it has people around the town, obviously.
Yeah.
But, but you have about 20,000 people show up for the event, so they got to come from somewhere. Some of them coming up from the Southern Pinehurst area, and and the rest of them coming from outside the county. But it was a good collage of communities coming together there. All right, so thank you, Robbins, for having us, and our next stop will be outside of individual talks and everything, will be the Taylortown Parade coming up on September 2nd. That'll be...
where will that be?
In Taylortown.
Oh.
Duh. And that's at 11 o'clock, so you can go ahead and mark your calendars. And one other thing, we have the very famous and going quick, the Adams for Sheriff bumper stickers. Now, Now, these stickers, once applied, will add at least 10-20% value to your car.
I've had 4 offers on my car already, Steve.
In appreciation. So you can come by the station and pick them up. You can email me, and I'll mail you one. I'll be glad to. Just email me at steve@adamsforsheriff.com, and we'll mail you a bumper sticker. And you can proudly display it and help us get the word around and get people to the website so where they can actually see a plan and not a resume. So that's Steve@adamsforsheriff.com. And this little talk has been paid for by adamsforsheriff.com. All right, it is 7:39 past the hour. Let's get on with sound bites this morning.
I'm glad they didn't play that bingo game down at that dog event you went to a while back.
Well, it's kind of hard. Horses don't ask. They don't care what you think. When it's time, they just keep on doing what they're doing, but the rear end takes care of itself.
Fortunately, all they eat is, they're vegetarian, so that's good.
You see that tail starting to rise up, and watch out. And now you know why there are no horses in Christmas parades. Because they had a front end loader and guys with shovels behind all the horses shoveling the street, and they were shoveling everywhere, but they got it they got it up to the best of their ability, and the rest of it kind of just faded away. Let's start with the good news story this morning. Angela Peters, she lives in Michigan, and she has cerebral palsy. And she went to a nail salon inside a Walmart recently to get a manicure. Now, the salon told her that they couldn't help her because her hands shake with her condition. They probably felt like they couldn't upsell her. Oh, you want, boy? You need gloss on there. You need gloss. That's how they do it. And I'll put it on there. Just $40 extra.
How do you know that? I mean, that's true, but how do you know
there's this comedian that does the trip to the nail salon, and she imitates the
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's funny as all get out. But by the time she gets through with that nail thing is like $400.
Yeah, by the time I get out of there with my pedicure, man, I'll tell you what, my nails are different colors. And
anyway, luckily a Walmart worker named Ebony Harris saw what was going on, and she came to help Angela out. She took her whole lunch break to help her, and they picked out nail polish, and then she applied it for her at the Subway inside the store.
That is a beautiful story.
Here's Angela. Wait a minute. God. Come on out. I hate Napster with a passion. Told it to shut up and just keep playing noise. Now, back to my story.
Finally, you admit your music is noise.
No, Napster's noise.
We heard you.
All right, here's Angela.
I just wanted to make her day special. I didn't really want her day to be ruined. That's why I did it. And plus she's a sweetie. And, she moved her hands a little bit and she kept saying she was sorry. And I told her, don't say that. I said, you're fine.
I thought that was relatable. And I always felt comfortable with her because, like I said, I shot the mama a lot.
We're not trying to bash the nail salon. We're not trying to make them lose customers, make them look bad, but maybe spread awareness that no matter the person, who they are, what color they are, disability, whatever, they're people too. She wants to look pretty, and so why can't she?
I'm like, wow, you are amazing.
I told her she's a blessing to us, to anybody, not just me. She makes me look at life and appreciate it much more than, what I have been.
All right, well, God bless Angela Peters.
That is a beautiful story, Steve. I think a lot of people don't realize what MS is. Our listeners are a little more
it's not
informed, but
it's not a deterioration of the mind. It's just the ability. The mind's solid. the ability to get the commands to the hands and the feet and everything else is impaired, and that's what causes the condition.
Yeah, it's got to be terribly, even if you're years and years with it, it's just got to be so frustrating.
But they can absorb knowledge and digest it just as good as any of us. An Amish guy in Michigan named Timothy Horstetter has started up an Amish Uber service. That's what he calls it anyway. It's just him offering people rides in his horse and buggy, which we're not sure how he's working out, but the whole no cell phone part. But anyway, here's it.
Uber is a cool thing. Every so many years something new comes in. Uber's hot right now, so we can have the Amish Uber buggies and go and just deliver people to the front door steps. Hello. Hey guys.
First time Uber and we're riding in a buggy.
He loves people. He's a Morgan. Morgan is a people's horse. They love doing their, giving you a kiss or whatever, I
don't think there's Uber down here, so it's pretty cool. Like, it gives people that option that can't drive or don't want to drive or shouldn't drive.
Most of them aren't from Colon, but the Colon people have given me a few options. Would you give Curly a ride? Would you go to my house? I said, I did that.
I often wonder where the line is with horses. I've had a horse in the past, had one for a couple of years, an Arabian. Very spirited animal. The two times I was most scared in my life was on the back of that horse. One of them was when I was on a bridge with a 60-foot drop over the side and a car coming at us at 60 miles an hour and the horse freaking out. I went, oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
And
good point. If you see a horse, somebody riding a horse on the road, slow way down, go by slowly.
Yeah. And this one just zoomed on by.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
And the horse, you could see the horse freaking out, and he just kept on coming. And I said, this is it. And the other time was the saddle slipped and the horse took off.
Oh.
And I said, if I make it alive to the bottom of this hill, me and this horse are definitely going to have a talk. But no horse ever was able to throw me. But anyway, that aside.
I'll bet you never put a loose saddle on before either. Or after that, rather.
No, I gave my old knee in the side to make them exhales. Tighten that girth up. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I was in Carthage. They had this one group of horses that was part of Mexican tradition. I guess a group of Mexicans that had trained horses.
Yeah,
and they make them do that. What's it called? Dressage, where they're going sideways and.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but
the horse looked very, it looks real military-ish.
Yeah.
As they do a sideways step down the street, and then they'll reverse and go the other sideways down.
Yeah.
From the left side or right side.
I think that comes out of the Spanish tradition of Mexico.
Yeah. Anyway, it all looked good, but, it takes a lot of discipline to make that horse do that. And I saw one guy take the reins and really slap that horse one time. And it reminded me of the movie Tombstone, where Kurt Russell comes over when the guy was whipping his horse, and he grabs the whip and whips the guy that was whipping him, says, doesn't feel too good, does it? Always, I'm a big guy and no animal cruelty. But is that cruelty, or is it just acceptable training?
I don't know. You watch when you watch animals dealing with each other, they'll deal out stuff that you rarely ever see a person dealing out. So
Yeah. Well, that's the fight to be the alpha. So what you're talking about?
Yeah, that. But I mean,
a pack of animals
cats on a daily basis, even the ones with claws, will give each other a swat with a claw, and
and then dog packs will go around and attack a single dog and neuter him for him. They don't care. That's what they'll try to do.
I haven't seen that.
And they'll bleed out.
How many times have you stood there taking pictures watching that, Steve?
Never, but I have
Stand by
seen
without
dogs
acting.
that have been attacked like that.
I'm kidding. Really? I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's out in the country.
Dogfight is an ugly thing. When they're going at it, that's an ugly thing.
Anyway, well,
I had a pit bull once.
the problem is with the owners.
Well, I had a pit bull once, and some big dog came and attacked him, and he grabbed his throat and would not let go. My dog, problem was he grabbed a big leather collar and wouldn't let go of the other dog's biting his head.
You know, the group I walk with, they're all senior dogs now. So we've been walking together, 12 years. So our dogs have aged, and basically we sit around, they lie around and just sit with us, and it's a very calm group.
Except for Colt, who's running after everything.
Well, Colt, which is my 4-year-old beagle, feels the need. He feels like he's the sergeant at arms of the pack. And if another dog comes up toward the pack, he hunches down like he's on the hunt. And as soon as that dog gets close, he jumps out at him, stay away, I'm in charge here, and he tries to chase him away. And some of the times they're pit bulls. I go, dog, are you crazy? And the pit bull just looks there in shock like, what is this little thing rolling around my heels here?
I've seen a Chihuahua.
They don't take him as a real threat, so they don't go after him yet.
My aunt's Chihuahua did that with my pit bull. Yeah, exactly. My dog kept pulling his nose back when the little guy would, and he was looking at him like, what?
Yeah, they don't feel threatened because the dog's too
rat
small.
Or what is that thing?
Yeah. Turkish Airlines, they are coming up with creative ways to get their safety message across, and now they've released a new safety video featuring characters from the Lego movie. There's a brief part of the clip.
Hey there, fellow travelers. I'm Emmett.
And I'm Wildstyle.
After our last adventure, I guess you could say we've kind of become movie stars.
But we're between movies right now. And what do movie stars do between movies?
Star in a flashy airline safety video. Can we get the step-by-step flashy video instructions, please?
Here you go.
Step 1, make sure you're inside the airplane. Oh!
Step 2, don't be afraid to use shameless celebrity cameos in your safety video.
Did someone say cameo? It is illegal to smoke on this flight, including electronic cigarettes. It is also strictly prohibited to smoke in lavatories, which are equipped with smoke detectors. So don't even think about it, hombre.
It's a party in the sky. Let's pack our dreams and fly. It's a party.
Stop! It's gonna get stuck in my head. No one wants to hear a song about safety. It's a party in the sky. Let's pack our dreams and fly. This is gonna get stuck in my head.
It's a party in the sky with Turkish Airlines.
And, of course, not a single person in the plane looked up and saw the video.
That's right. And then they dragged all the Jews and Kurds off and told them they couldn't fly on Turkish Airlines.
I'm much too cool to watch this video. So when the plane does crash, where'd you say those exes were? Meanwhile, a guy at Disney World thought it would be funny to propose to Minnie Mouse while he was taking pictures with her. And she went along with it until they saw Mickey watching from the side.
He's going to propose to her. Are you ready to propose? Mickey, I'm sorry. Oh my God! What just happened? Nose touch!
I guess you had to see it. Let me see what this thing looks like. I'll have to look at it later.
I wouldn't waste my time. Just saying. That I will say,
Minnie and Mickey, they don't.
Out of all the clips you've played, that's the last one.
Yeah, out of they aren't allowed to talk, so it's you never hear any of the animals talk when they're in the park.
Now,
all hand gestures.
True story. I have a cousin, and I don't personally remember this because he's older than I am, and I was a little tiny guy. But my brother certainly remembers it. My mother used to remember it, and that was he was kind of an out of control jerk. This guy, and he went up and kicked Goofy in the shin, and Goofy grabbed him and turned him over his knee and spanked him. Now, this was back in, circa 1970 or something, where
Well, Goofy
they
had
could
a
get
chance
away
of
with
keeping his job then.
Well, that was back, when they could get away with it. He kicked the shin, and the adult turns the child over his knee.
It'd be a $40 million lawsuit with the trauma.
Oh, yeah, it would be. It might have been a she. A lot of those characters are she's, too. Who knows? But anyway, the kid deserved it. That's right, Sterling, I said it.
Well, you probably have heard this, but Charlotte Ray died yesterday at the age of 92. She played the housekeeper, Miss Garrett, on Different Strokes, then played the same character on the spinoff, The Facts of Life, where she was a house mother for a dorm at an all-girls private school.
I didn't know Facts of Life was a spinoff.
Yeah.
From what?
Spinoff of Different Strokes.
Was she the only common denominator?
Do I look like a teeny mopper sitcom expert here? Anyway.
I used to have a crush on Jo.
The blonde?
No, she was the brunette. Kind of the tough girl.
Let's see. What else? All right, we'll do this one. No, I'd rather do this.
Now, you were talking about the Mexican horse team there. I had a little guy at McDonald's come up and say, why don't Mexicans engage in archery? Because they don't have an arrow. Oh, man. He was about 6.
But I don't get it.
Have an arrow. Habanero. All right, move on. If your mind was up to my level of, intellectual...
Here's your mind. I go, where did that all come from? And I
They don't have an
once
arrow.
Again, we're in the mat zone.
They don't have an arrow.
I only took 4 years of Spanish. You expect me to speak it?
I don't even know. I guess habanero is a Spanish word.
Why is it you would think after 4 years of Spanish? And I made bees in it, basically. Occasional C, but mostly bees in it. I'd be able to speak the thing. Now, I was able to read it to a fairly decent level. But today, I know about one word, leche.
I know. I don't know how you forgot all that, but I was just talking to someone over the weekend who took a a German class, and his teacher told him, "I'll pass you, but do not take Spanish too." German too.
Yeah, my mother shoved Latin down my throat. You talk about a worthless experience. That was. Oh, well, all our language is based on Latin. I went, well, then let me learn the English. Nobody speaks Latin.
Illegitimate non-carborundum.
And Latin is full of so many exceptions to the rule. The first chapter is pretty easy to learn. Ooh, I can speak Latin. And then they got, in English, I believe we have 8/10 of a verb, present, past, future, present, past perfect, future perfect, so forth, so on. And I think we have 8. Is that right?
I get lost on all that
is.
Past, present, future, perfect stuff.
It's 8/10 of the verb. And then in Latin, they got 12, I believe.
Good Lord.
And it just, golly.
Hey, Steve, illegitimate non-carborundum.
I can still conjugate.
Keep saying that Latin phrase I know over and over.
I still conjugate the verb to be in the present tense in Latin. Sumes est, sumus est sunt. And there you go. I'm done.
Or as Bill Clinton said, e pluribus unum, out of one, many.
All right. Things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. A rape allegation against Backstreet Boy singer Nick Carter is under review by the L.A. County District Attorney. French lawmakers voted last week to outlaw sexual harassment on the street, passing a bill that would hit catcallers with a heavy fine for making unwanted advances in public. I used to work next to a guy when I was back during the summer carpenter days. He'd always, every woman who went by, he'd go, "Hello there, baby." God, quit embarrassing me. I knew A New Age.
But if you're threatened by that, come on.
A New Age author, Marianne Williamson, is said to be considering a presidential run in 2020. Who? In Massachusetts, a woman is being charged with driving her car into another car that had a Trump bumper sticker on it.
Idiot.
Demi Lovato has agreed to go to rehab. Jack Osborne is in a bit of trouble after punching a male model boyfriend of his soon-to-be ex-wife. And Britney Spears, who's worth over $56 million, says she still loves to shop at TJ Maxx. Who knew? All right, currently here in the Sand Hills area, we're looking at sunny skies, still holding at 72 degrees, humidity maxed out. Your full forecast, news and sports all starts now. It's 8 o'clock.
Temperatures were on the rise yesterday in the 90s for many locations. We're going to see more of that today. Now, we have weak high pressure upon us that will keep it rather uncomfortable for the next 3 days. Also, we'll see fewer showers and thunderstorms around. The high temperature in the low 90s. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy, the low in the low to mid 70s. And then tomorrow is partly cloudy, hot and humid. Maybe a little better chance for thunderstorms for Tuesday. The high again in the low 90s, likewise Wednesday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says bad environmental laws making California's deadly and destructive wildfires that much worse. On Twitter, Mr. Trump says those laws aren't allowing massive amounts of readily available water to be properly utilized. He also says it's important to tree clear in order to stop the fires from spreading. Mr. Trump has approved federal aid to help in the firefight. The president acknowledging that the 2016 Trump Tower meeting between a Kremlin-connected lawyer and his son was aimed at collecting information about a political opponent. Mr. Trump says it was perfectly legal, adding that it's a common practice in the dog-eat-dog world of Washington politics. Rick Gates, he cut a plea deal with special counsel Robert Mueller's team, is due to take the stand in the financial fraud trial of his former boss and mentor, Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chairman. The trial scheduled to resume later today outside of Washington. No end to the bloodshed in Chicago. More than 60 people shot citywide in what was an exceptionally violent weekend. Chicago Police Chief Fred Waller thinks that gang violence is at the root of at least some of it.
I promise you that we will not be defeated. We need more help from our judicial system. We need more help from our federal partners, and we're getting it, but we won't be defeated in this.
At least 10 of the shooting victims died. In some cases, a gunman fired into crowds of people, seemingly at random. Recent gun-related violence in Chicago sparking protests, and there have been some calls for the resignation of Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Search and rescue efforts continue on the Indonesian tourist island of Lombok. Powerful earthquake flattened houses, toppled bridges. The trembler killed at least 91 people. Stock futures mixed on Wall Street. Dow futures down 27 points. NASDAQ futures up almost 5. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisory firm. We're Sound Income Strategies, and baby boomers who have heard our message and called for a free income kit now understand the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. You see, at Sound Income Strategies, we transform high-fee, high-taxed retirement spend-downs into sustained retirement income. It's time for you to join the income generation. For your free, no-obligation income kit, call 866-913-1234. 866-913-1234 to speak to an income specialist. Call 866-913-1234. Sound Income Strategies. Remember, the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. For your free income kit, call 866-913-1234. 866-913-1234. Call now.
British Airways Chief Executive Alex Cruz complaining about the increasingly long lines that many passengers arriving at London's Heathrow Airport are having to face.
Mr. Cruz said that visitors from outside the European Economic Area were regularly being forced to wait for 2 hours at border control at Heathrow, and even arrivals from within Europe were often waiting for more than an hour. He called on the Home Secretary to take action to resolve what he called a border farce once and for all. His comments echoed recent criticisms from the Airport Operators Association, which also highlighted cuts to Border Force's budget. In a statement, the government said it wouldn't compromise essential checks at UK borders, but added that 200 extra staff were being deployed at Heathrow over the summer.
That's BBC's Theo Leggett. Taliban suicide bomber has killed 3 NATO soldiers on a foot patrol in eastern Afghanistan. News and analysis at townhall.com. A former New Mexico governor and unsuccessful presidential contender being urged to make a run for the U.S. Senate.
The Central Committee of New Mexico's Libertarian Party offered Gary Johnson the party's nomination as a replacement to State Land Commissioner Aubrey Dunn, who abandoned his Senate bid earlier in the week. Johnson has 2 weeks to decide whether to accept and says he's giving it serious consideration. In 2006, Johnson won 9% of the vote in New Mexico as the Libertarian presidential candidate, while Hillary Clinton carried the state. Ron DeRockstra reporting.
Saudi Arabia has ordered the Canadian ambassador to leave the ultra-conservative kingdom after criticism of its arrests of activists. A Saudi Foreign Ministry statement issued early today also announcing that it would freeze all new business between the kingdom and Canada. Some 10% of Canadian crude oil imports come from Saudi Arabia. Yet on Wall Street right now, Dow futures down 24 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
One of the problems I've seen with large organizations over the years is the lack of good leadership. We get good people who know how to make things run, the folks who we could not do without, and all of a sudden we put them in a position of power and they have no idea what they're doing. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I want to talk to you about why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff. I've said many times that we have 3 good men running for sheriff. Normally, I'd be happy to support either of the other 2 candidates. I'd like to tell you why I feel Steve is the right man for this job. In Moore County, we've seen firsthand what happens when we put people in positions in which we expect them to run large departments and manage big budgets. We've seen how they ignore the way money's blown, or to be more fair, they have no real idea how to manage money that belongs to other people. They simply don't know how. And to be even more fair, they know very little about one of the most important things a person must know when they're in charge: how to lead, how to truly lead. Being in charge is one thing. Having years of experience building an organization and knowing how to keep it going is quite another. Steve understands something that I believe is extremely important. The most important part of being sheriff is surrounding yourself with the best and most well-trained deputies that you can find. Once you have them, your job is to actually listen to them as they rely on you to run the executive portion of the job. In turn, they rely on you to make sure they're given the tools and the permissions they need to do the best possible job in taking care of us, the citizens of Moore County. Steve will do that, and that's why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff of Moore County.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Hello, this is Chris Ennis, Service Manager at Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai. We want to thank all of our loyal customers for entrusting us with the care and maintenance of their vehicles over the years. But did you know we also service Lexus, saving you a trip to Raleigh or Charlotte? In fact, our factory-trained and certified ASE technicians can service any type of vehicle. Your complete satisfaction is our #1 goal, so please consider Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai for all your vehicle service needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached at 910-692-2424. We look forward to seeing you.
You already know about Little Dino's great subs, but did you know they make some of the very best pizza as well? But if subs are your preference, then you won't find more choices anywhere else. That's why Little Dino's motto is, more choices, more flavor. And it's true. At Little Dino's, you'll always eat fresh. But unlike some national chains, their staff isn't fresh. So get off the chain gang and come into Little Dino's for more choices, more flavor, and friendly service. Little Dino's, located in Olmsted Village Shopping Center, off 211 in Pinehurst.
Dad always seemed to know what was best when it came to repairing your car, but your European car is from a new era. You need a real pro now. Rick knows what's best for your European car. Let Rick help keep your costs in check. Vintage and Modern European at NC 211 East and Indiana in Aberdeen is your choice when extremely knowledgeable service or repair is needed. And his white glove premium service is standard. For fully authorized European service, call Rick at Vintage and Modern 944-1023. That's 944-1023.
Hey, this is Steve Leader Adams. You know, for many years I've had arthritis in my right shoulder. I was at the point that surgery was the only option. Then I discovered pressure wave therapy, available at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. Pressure wave therapy is a machine that concentrates pulses of pressure waves into your joint at a rate of 2,000 pulses per minute. The treatment is non-invasive and there is no downtime. Pressure waves help your body restore blood flow to your damaged joints and can even remove bone spurs and works on almost any joint in the body, including knees, hips, feet, and elbows. I've gone to only being able to raise my arms from 90 degrees to a full 360-degree motion. You can live pain-free too, without going under a surgeon's knife. Give Dr. Sharon Wright a call at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. 910-673-2225. That's 910-673-2225.
MCN News. I'm Mike Riley. 5 people are dead when a twin-engine plane crashed in Santa Ana, California. Dashboard video just released shows a plane falling from the sky head first into a parked car outside of a strip mall yesterday. Maria Varial is near the crash site.
All the victims actually worked for a real estate consulting firm that was based in Northern California. Some of them were actually related to each other. Now, this could have been way worse because we are in a high-traffic area, a lot of stores and restaurants nearby, and yesterday was a very busy shopping day.
We're hearing from North Carolina GOP Senator Tom Tillis on the issue of hog farms and high-dollar lawsuits against pork producers. Tillis said he's concerned such lawsuits will be also filed in other states.
But this needs to be the beginning of a dialogue and an initiative where we bring the states together. We figure out what the state legislatures need to do. We need to come up with model legislation, and for the willing states, we need to figure out what the legislatures can do.
A man's body was found face down in the New River in Boone on Sunday afternoon. There are no signs of foul play. 91 people are dead and more than 200 severely injured after a large earthquake hit the Indonesian islands of Lombok and Bali overnight. CBS News correspondent Ben Tracy says this is the second deadly quake in a week.
Damage to hospitals forced doctors to treat the sick and wounded outside. By morning, a mob of people packed the shores to board ferries off the island of Gili Trawangan. And medical teams evacuated the injured from nearby islands by boat. Frightened tourists rushed to evacuation points, trying to reach the Lombok airport.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are investigating after a man was shot and killed during an apparent break-in in East Charlotte this morning. CMPD has not identified the shooter. You're listening to NCN News.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Darlington Raceway. This is tradition.
The white flag flies for Bobby Allison.
This is iconic.
Teddy appears to be smoking, and Gale now is pulling away.
This is legendary.
Truex is at the wall, and it's Hamlin going to the lead.
Come celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR at Darlington Raceway this Labor Day weekend. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866-459-RACE or visit darlingtonraceway.com.
South Carolina is just right.
A person was taken to the hospital after suffering an apparent shark bite on Sunday morning off Bullhead Island. That according to Brunswick County Dispatch. No word on their condition. Actress Charlotte Rae, the star of 2 NBC sitcoms, has reportedly died at the age of 92.
Charlotte Rae will be best remembered for portraying the same character on 2 different sitcoms in the late 1970s and 80s.
Now the world don't move to the beat of
She was Edna Garrett, the housekeeper on Different Strokes, who watched over the wisecracking youngster played by Gary Coleman.
You little devil.
Her character was so popular, she got her own series, The Facts of Life. This time, Edna was the house mother at an all-girls school.
I'm sorry, Judy. I really am. But we can't go. We made a prior commitment.
Charlotte Ray thought Edna Garrett was a wonderful part.
I love that. She was such a nice lady.
Gary Nunn, CBS News.
New research shows more seniors are running into financial trouble. Details from CBS's Vicki Barker.
The rate of people 65 and over filing for bankruptcy has tripled since 1991, from just over 1 in 1,000 to well over 3 per 1,000 today. Back then, seniors accounted for about 2% of all bankruptcies. Now it's more than 12%. And the New York Times notes that bankruptcy rate is rising faster than baby boomers are aging, which means there are deeper structural factors in the U.S. economy, leaving ever more Americans without a safety net. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
There's still plenty of summer left, and the state tourism officials say there's lots to see and do now well into the fall. Whit Tuttle is Executive Director of Visit NC.
One of the things I think you have to see if you haven't is out at Biltmore, the Chihuly glass exhibit that runs through October 7th. Chihuly at Biltmore. Some really amazing stuff. The guy, Dale Chihuly, he did these blown glass.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We have weak high pressure upon us for the next few days, so thunderstorms should not be all that widespread. By Thursday, we have a cold front approaching the area, and I believe at that point the thunderstorms should become more widespread. It's hot later today, the high in the low 90s. If you work outside, don't push yourself too hard. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy, the low in the low to mid 70s. And tomorrow, it's still hot. A few afternoon thunderstorms are possible. In fact, a little better chance than what we'll see today, the high in the low 90s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, sunny skies, 72 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 72. Pressure 3018, winds west-southwest at 5, visibility is at 10 statute miles. 8:15, let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. A 54-year-old Aberdeen man was airlifted to a trauma center yesterday afternoon after a fall from his roof just after 5:30. The man reportedly fell 12 feet from the roof of a commercial building outside of Aberdeen at the intersection of 15501 and PD Road. The victim was transported from the scene by ambulance to meet a helicopter to go to a trauma center. Multiple agencies participated in freedom denial checkpoint operations conducted at several locations in Taylortown and Pinehurst over the weekend. On Friday night, operations were conducted in Taylortown locations including Main Street, Juniper Lake Road, and Olmsted Boulevard. On Saturday night, officials conducted checkpoint operations in Pinehurst at locations including US 15501 and NC5. Charges filed during the two-night freedom denial checkpoint operations included 3 driving while impaired, 8 drug charges, and 30 miscellaneous other charges. Participating agencies included Pinehurst, Taylortown, Foxfire, Carthage, Laurinburg, police departments and probation office, North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and the Sheriff's Office, and the Pinehurst Police Department Citizens on Patrol. And a good crowd came out to John Williams Stadium Saturday morning, meaning 12 midnight, to usher in a new season of Pinecrest football. Just before midnight, some 170 players on the varsity, junior varsity, and freshman teams were introduced, and then the varsity and junior varsity teams took to the field for the first full contact practice of the new season. The Patriots will open their season August 17th on the road at E.A. Laney in Wilmington. The first 3 games are on the road before they have their season opener on September 7th against Providence. Of course, again, for the 48th year in a row, your flagship station for Pinecrest Sports will have all of the games. 40 minutes prior to kickoff will be the pregame, followed by the game itself and a postgame. And if you miss the game, you can watch it immediately following the game on video from our website at talk973.com. And also, we will have Coach Chris Metzger in here tomorrow morning, 8:30, to talk a little bit of Pinecrest football right here on your flagship station for Pinecrest football, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17. Here's your sports. And
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Chase Elliott earned his first NASCAR Cup victory in 99 starts. He held off Martin Truex Jr. in a finish at Watkins Glen. That was a two-car race, while the rest of the field was more than 11 seconds back. Kyle Busch finished third, followed by Daniel Suarez and Eric Jones. Justin Thomas earned his third PGA title of the year by capturing the Bridgestone Invitational by 4 strokes over Kyle Stanley. Thomas closed with a 1-under 69 for a 15-under total on Sunday at Firestone Country Club in Akron. Buffalo Bills coach Sean McDermott is not happy that wide receiver Kelvin Benjamin in a recent interview criticized Cam Newton's accuracy and questioned why the Carolina Panthers drafted him. In the interview with The Atlantic, Benjamin said getting drafted by the Panthers was a bad fit from the get-go, and without mentioning Newton by name, the Panthers' first-round pick in 2014 says he could have been more productive with any other quarterback. Ron Rivera was asked about Benjamin's criticisms during Sunday's training camp in Spartanburg.
I'm not going to talk about the matter. I want to talk about ready for the season, and then tonight we'll introduce Buffalo and start getting ready for our preseason games. Tight end Greg Olson asked the same question. He was a bit more open to share his feelings.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I think we all kind of felt the same way, but we all wish Kelvin the best. Obviously things change, but again, we've talked at length about how guys around here feel about Cam, and obviously you don't like people going after your quarterback, but I think Cam knows how the guys here feel about him, and I would imagine that's what he holds the most credence.
What makes Benjamin's comments most awkward is that the Bills are hosting Carolina Thursday as both teams open the preseason. And Bills head coach Sean McDermott, he spent 6 seasons as Carolina's defensive coordinator, and Bills GM Brandon Beane, he used to be the Panthers' assistant GM, and he had a hand in drafting Benjamin. This is NCN Sports.
This Fraud Watch Alert is brought to you by AARP North Carolina. Recently, sham veterans charities are bilking patriotic donors out of millions of dollars. North Carolina fraud fighters urge you to donate wisely. Before you give, visit ncsos.gov to make sure a charity that claims to support veterans and military families is licensed and legitimate. Learn more about charity scams and other cons by signing up for free AARP Watchdog Alerts at aarp.org/NC Protect.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
NC State football coach Dave Doran says USC transfer tight end Kerry Evangeline will be able to play after sitting out the first 3 games of the upcoming season. Evangeline redshirted in 2016, then left the Trojans roughly a month into last season. Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer says he's followed proper protocol regarding domestic violence allegations when reporting them against an assistant coach back in 2015. Meyer posting his first public comments since he was put on paid leave earlier this week amid a university investigation into his knowledge of allegations made by the ex-wife of former assistant coach Zach Smith. Ian Poulter, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas share the lead at 11 under par following the second round of the PGA's Bridgestone Invitational. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Only one candidate for sheriff promises a no-kill animal shelter on day 1, and that's Steve Adams. Find out Steve's complete plan that will save the taxpayer millions of your tax dollars every year. For full details, visit adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
This is your Health Liberty Minute. I'm Steve Siddall. Well, it was Billy Crystal's impersonation of Fernando Lamas that gave us the phrase, "You look marvelous." Now, the problem is the older we get, the harder it is to look or even sometimes feel so marvelous. Well, the good news is that thanks to technology and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, we can perhaps slow the process and feel better. Well, here to explain more is Medical Director at the Youth Institute and best-selling author Dr. Greg Brannon. Doctor, if we want to look marvelous, what can we do?
Steve, I appreciate the way you look marvelous. It's an inner aspect of our bodies. Our emotions, our attitude actually are exposed, our inner feelings to the rest of the world. But also the way our body ages on the inside could actually increase our aging on the outside. We are all going to age, but the key is to age gracefully. It's very important to understand how what we put in our body is supplements, nutritions, and to make sure that our hormones are balanced properly. When you said the word bioidentical, it's very important. We hear all this stuff about hormone therapy. It's good, it's bad, it's good. It's very confusing. But understand, our body makes these hormones. So we can replace exactly what our body used to make at the levels they used to make at a younger level. There are no complications to the heart, the brain, actually just benefits to that. The Mayo Clinic says what a bioidentical is that body recognizes as same. The other things are foreign. When it's foreign, your body cannot metabolize it or utilize it or eliminate it properly. And for more detailed information, we're offering for the first 10 callers or who text us a half-hour consult with me and also a copy of our free book.
That sounds great, Doctor. Wow. The next 10 callers, 800-351-8836. The number to call, 800-351-8836. Better yet, just text the word Liberty to 21,000 and you're in. Liberty to 21,000. The Youth Institute has 4 locations in North Carolina: Cary, Wake Forest, Wilmington, and Pinehurst, with more on the way. Keep up with the latest information by following us on Facebook at the Youth Institute.
Donuts so heavenly you'd think they were made by angels. Southern Angel Donut Company is now open for your heavenly pleasure in Olmsted Village, behind the First National Bank. Sarah and the Angels are up daily at 3 a.m. making donuts the old-fashioned way, preparing holy taste bud delights like the maple bacon donut or their special apple fritters. And hey, Southern Angel Donuts make great business icebreakers, because who doesn't like a great donut? Give Southern Angel Donuts a try today. Open 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily.
Hi, this is Steve Peter Adams. How would you like to treat your office to a free lunch? Well, log on to WEEB990.com and register your office for the Jersey Mike's Sack of Subs. We'll pick a lucky winner each Friday morning, and lunch is on us in Jersey Mike's that day. That's WEEB990.com.
So what makes Jersey Mike's special? It starts with the bread, baked fresh throughout each day. Next, high-quality meats and cheeses, sliced individually for your sandwich. Jersey Mike's. Taste it, and you'll see it really is a sub above. This week, try the number 13, the original Italian, provolone, ham, prosciutto, capicola, salami, and pepperoni.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in a Zumwalt zone. I will never leave a fallen comrade to fall into the hands of the enemy. That's part of a creed, and many of you who listen to this will know exactly where that came from. I will never leave a fallen comrade to fall into the hands of the enemy. Well, we did leave fallen comrades, men who fought against unbelievable odds in one of the most gut-wrenching battles ever fought in a war no one talks about, were left behind in Korea. Please understand me. They weren't left behind by their comrades. They were left behind by a nation whose leaders let them down, by an administration and military leadership that did not support them. Last week, some of these men finally got to come home. It was one of the most amazing events I've ever seen. In fact, I didn't think it would ever happen. And yet, one almost had to hunt to find coverage of it in the media. How can we hate a president so much we're not willing to celebrate the return of the remains of our military members? What kind of revulsion could you have in your heart not to be willing to rejoice the returns of the remains to families who have mourned and grieved for so many decades? These men spent their last days on earth in one of the worst circumstances a person can endure in wartime. No matter what we think about the results, these men died serving in America, and I'm so glad they're home in the Zumwalt zone.
Temperatures were on the rise yesterday in the 90s for many locations. We're going to see more of that today. And we have weak high pressure upon us that will keep it rather uncomfortable for the next 3 days. Also, we'll see fewer showers and thunderstorms around. The high temperature in the low 90s. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy, the low in the low to mid 70s. And then tomorrow is partly cloudy, hot and humid. Maybe a little better chance for thunderstorms for Tuesday. The high again in the low 90s, likewise Wednesday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Rise and shine.
It's
Monday morning.
I have got a serious case of the Mondays. Someone's cranky.
We don't want cranky, do we? Let's do our best to make a good first impression.
Are you serious? Yes.
shut up.
Why are you so grumpy? It's just too early. Time for work.
Back to the grind.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm going to go anymore.
It's showtime.
Keep it coming up. Keep it coming up. Don't stop it now. Don't stop it. No, don't stop it now. Don't stop it. Keep it coming up. Keep it coming up. Don't stop it now. Don't stop it. No, don't stop it now. Don't stop it. Don't let your well run dry. Don't stop it now. Don't give me no reasons why. Don't stop it now. Keep it coming up. Keep it coming up. Don't stop it now. Don't stop it. No, don't stop it now. Don't stop it. Keep it coming up. Keep it coming up. Don't stop it now. Don't stop it. No, don't stop it now. Don't stop it. Don't build me up.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's happy sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you from the website at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man, all one word, into the search. If you're on a mobile device just needing audio, well, you can get that too with other platforms like TuneIn or iTunes. Those are two that work well. Many others will also. Just put WEEB in the search, or you can always get it 24/7, 365 off of our website by clicking the icon in the upper right-hand corner at talk973.com, the one that says Listen Live. One click of that, and you're listening just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills. There's going to be 3 muggy, very muggy days ahead of us before we see a little reduction in the humidity levels. Partly cloudy today, tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Each day with a chance of thunderstorms, but that's a low chance. Highs will be in the low 90s. Heat index will be in the upper 90s each day. Now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it'll be partly cloudy, but lower humidity levels, so it'll be a little more tolerable. Thursday's still in the transition era there as the humidity levels drop a little bit. Friday, Saturday, Sunday be a little more tolerable. Our temperatures drop back into the upper 80s. No heat indexes those days, and the dew points will be in the upper 60s, which will seem pretty significant compared to what we've been having, although that's still high. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are southwest at 3, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 3018, dew point 75, humidity 94. It's sunny, up to 77 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:30 now, past the hour on this back to work Monday. 77 degrees here in the Sand Hills. Let's wander on over to what do I bump to do? I know what let's do. This is going to be too easy today. So this.
And now it's time for Yes! Or BS. Don't get me back.
It's always too easy for me, Steve.
Well, it's going to be way too easy today. Therefore, if you miss, the punishment will be the whole IT department will take you out back and rip those little curly pants off of you and beat you within an inch of your life. How's that sound? Fair game. All right.
Sounds like
no objection from that.
Gay violence to me, but whatever you're into, Steve.
Are you saying you're gay now? Just what?
Are you suggesting there's something wrong with that?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I'm just asking. All right, let's get our buzzer ready. Yeah, it's ready to rock and roll here. Let's see if we can get to use it. Like I said, this is too easy. It's time for Yes or BS, where we give you a statement and you decide yes is true or no is total BS. Justin Timberlake is producing a new game show called Spin the Wheel, where contestants can win up to $20 million. He's not hosting it, though. Kristen Bell's husband, Dax Shepard, is. So the topic is celebrities who have been game show hosts. Celebrities who have been game show hosts. You have to tell us if these people have hosted a game or not.
Yes.
Regis Philbin.
I've gotten 2 so far. Yes.
What was the game?
That one he used to do.
You don't remember?
Wait, is this... I'm sorry, I got confused about the game. I thought it was yes or BS.
The one he came out with, is that your final answer?
Yes, is that your final answer? That would be... America's got lots of money if they get their answer.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yes, that's it.
You did it from 99 to 2002. Has it been that long?
We need to change the name of this.
Now they run it in the middle of the night.
Yes, BS, or fill in the blank.
Such a stupid game. Alex Baldwin.
Alec. Buzz yourself.
How about I throw you my favorite number?
So Alex Baldwin, no. BS.
Take him out back. Beat him up.
There is no Alex Baldwin that I know of in the entertainment industry.
You know, the stupidity runs.
Folks, if you were only watching for that.
The weird force is strong with this one.
And that was the wrong sound effect, wasn't it, Steve?
No. You wanted this one. You're proud of this one, but...
that's the one you meant to do. Admit it.
We just beat that one up too many times.
All right, so Alex Baldwin, no. Alec Baldwin, yes, he was.
What game? This is your Mr. FKA right now.
No, this is yes or BS, not fill in the blank.
Which game?
Yes.
Match game. He's done it for the last 2 years. Rob Lowe.
He's done it? You mean he's actively doing it for the last 2 years?
Yeah, calling everybody fat little pig. What do you call his daughter?
I don't know. It was pretty
silly
bad
little
to call
pig.
a 13-year-old, though, or whatever she was.
Spoiled little pig, or whatever it was. All right, Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, no, BS.
It is BS. He's never hosted a game, but right when he was breaking into Hollywood, he won as a celebrity contestant on $10,000 Pyramid back in 1979. Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer?
Mm-hmm.
BS.
Well, this is a tough game for the weak of mind. Yes, he did. It's a show called Baggage, which was a spinoff of the dating game.
Yes, that sounds like a great game. We all know about that one.
Each contestant, each of the potential datees had 3 bags, each bigger than the next, and they would open up and reveal some baggage about them.
I'll bet you're the only person I talked to today that has ever seen that.
Betty White.
BS.
Again, much too difficult a game for you. She hosted a show in 1983 called Just Men, where women could win a car by answering trivia questions about male celebrities. It got canceled in it got canceled after just 13 episodes.
I can't imagine why.
Because it was super exciting and fun. And people can't be, or I know the real reason. They couldn't cram enough commercials into it. They actually had to run some actual content. Now, you know how that works with TV.
I think you do well on that show.
Are you crazy?
Nobody knows male celebrities like you do.
I don't know much about celebrities. All right,
perfectly timed sound effects.
Rimshot time. The new Star Wars movie has started shooting. It won't be out for another year.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
And your IT guy is already demanding reshoots. Kelsey Grammer. And he got his wife's name tattooed on his on his man parts so he won't cheat. His wife was like, I'd prefer you to cheat. Kim Kardashian said, let me know how it works. Jennifer Aniston.
Kim Kardashian or the other one?
Khloe Kardashian. Jennifer Aniston says she fantasizes about a friend's reunion. Ditto responded David Schwimmer's money manager. Al Franken says he may run for office again. He'd be the only politician promising to be less hands-on. I just hope Franken runs with Jill Stein so people could vote for Frankenstein. Thank you. In an excerpt from her, you got a salesman here who think Al Franken would make a good president.
Oh, my gosh.
Could you imagine? Oof. That face coming on TV. In an excerpt from her new book, Omarosa claims that Donald Trump has suffered from a mental decline since becoming president. Oh, yes. The doctor's in the house, huh? As evidence, she pointed out that he hired her. Researchers in Canada are reporting that a mysterious, powerful force is flinging radio waves at the Earth from deep space. Even more mysterious, the radio waves are offering the fifth caller 2 tickets to see Eddie Money.
Hey! Eddie Money.
I thought it was always caller number 9. That's the way it was when I worked at QDR. You know. Caller number 9, you're a winner from Carolina's Hit Country, 94.7. A man in Michigan has started an Amish Uber service for when you absolutely, positively need to be there a week from Thursday. People in Oregon are looking for a guy who stole a safe from a business dressed as a pirate. And because of the pirate outfit, police have called in the FBI.
How do you dress up a business like a pirate?
He was dressed as a pirate.
You said he stole a safe from a business dressed as a pirate.
Him being dressed as. Well, again, we're into the weeds of the Twilight Zone of Matt. And he thinks he wants a raise. Yeah. All right, let's taste some bad guys.
My pretty, and your little dog too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys,
A raise is an excellent idea.
what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad treats, you go to school and learn.
I'm sorry, you were interrupting
I'll
our
take it.
segment. What would you say?
Everybody heard me.
I didn't hear
But
it.
I appreciate the offer, and I will take it.
I'm sorry, folks.
Bumping me up to $3 an hour would be wonderful.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Strut across the floor in the style of the coolest man who ever strutted the floor.
No. Do it after an actor.
John Wayne. Sucking a big chest. Suck-ins are big hairy chest sticks out. Now we'll open up our closet doors. Look at all 30 of our Liberty safes from Carson Shooting Sports. And today we're going to Liberty safe number 20. Let's see. I haven't been here. 22. Haven't been here in forever.
Can we go to 23?
Now we're doing 22. Open her up and let Matt reach in and grab the weapon of choice today.
Well, today we're going to go with this pink SR-22 made by Ruger. I know you just had an SR-2 recently, but since you wouldn't go to the safe I wanted to, I'm going to punish you with a pink gun.
That's all right. Pink, gray,
it's a
black, it doesn't matter.
Semi-automatic, chambered in .22 caliber.
I'll even paint the bullets pink. All right, we'll throw that onto our shoulder holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of Super Whoop-Ass, as we're now out the door in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. This guy really went out of his way to get arrested. A 32-year-old guy in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, was out with friends at a bar last week. He wanted to drive, but they said he was too drunk. So he got in his car and drove to the police station to take a breathalyzer test just to prove to his friends he was fine to drive. That's what intelligent people full of alcohol do. The police gave him the test, and he was 1.5 times the legal limit. So he was arrested for impaired driving.
I need one. You give me one of those bread things.
Yeah, it's just walk right into the mousetrap. Let it snap shut on your own neck. There you go. Stupid criminal news number 2. We don't know if this guy's excuse was true or not, but you've got to have been in this situation. You don't always think straight. Cops in Yakima, Washington. Have you ever been there?
Yakima.
Yakima.
Yakima?
Yeah, whatever. Yakima. Never been there either.
Did you say one of the situations where you're not thinking straight?
Anyway, the cops there saw a 32-year-old guy named Marlo Only blow through a stop sign last Wednesday, and they tried to pull him over, but as you guessed, he wouldn't stop. Now, this community is about 150 miles southeast of Seattle. Anyway, so it turned into a high-speed pursuit in the middle of a residential area. And he refused to slow down until he finally lost control and crashed into an abandoned house. After that, he took off on foot. But they called up to him. When they asked why he ran, he said he didn't have a choice because he was in the middle of an emergency bathroom situation. In other words, he really needed to poop. Obviously, a bathroom emergency doesn't qualify for a real emergency. So he also claimed he couldn't stop because his car didn't have any brakes. The police didn't buy that, though, and they arrested him just on the hunch that the brakes worked.
I pressed on the brakes and the car went faster.
Yeah. But it was tied to the gas pedal somehow.
We're all just lucky he hit an abandoned house and not one with some kids sleeping in bed quietly.
No word on how long he had to wait until he could actually go to the bathroom. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Monday.
Sit there on the curb until you soil yourself, then we'll take you to the damn police station.
Yeah. And that guy's right there in your genre of being weird. All right, 8:45, 45 past the hour. Everybody's favorite part of the program, it's now.
And now, it's time for... Random
facts. 1, 2, 3.
All right, our random facts for this Monday. Maybe one to spare. There have been 10 different countries with their own version of The Office. And the show is set at a paper company in all of them except Germany, where it's an insurance company. The idea of tinfoil hats came from a science fiction story called The Tissue Culture King in 1927. The main character used a hat made out of foil to block people from reading his mind.
Can you buy tinfoil today? I know lots of people say, oh, wrap the food up in tinfoil, but I've never seen tinfoil. It's all aluminum. Is there tinfoil out there somewhere? Just answer the question,
and
tinfoil hat wearing
you up
man.
At night.
I look to you for these answers.
To be trapped in that mind of yours. I just don't know. All right.
Steve, you ignorant slut. Of all the dried up, terrible answers, that's certainly one.
If there was a hole going all the way through the earth and you fell in, it would take you 38 minutes for you to get the job done. However, the gravity as you go through the hole will rip you apart into a splatter of blood. Just saying.
Good morning, folks.
When you got to the middle, all that gravity pulling in all those directions.
Nah, I don't think it works that way.
Nintendo bought a porn parody of Super Mario Brothers in 1993 so they could stop it from being distributed. It was called Super Hornio Brothers. And Ron Jeremy played Hornio in just about the most obvious casting decision in history. Treadmills were invented in the early 1800s as a way of punishing prisoners in England. Walk some sense into you, buddy.
Send him to the tower and put him on the treadmill. Except do it with an English accent.
Well, you've heard of escapes before, but maybe not one like this. All of us should hope we're as badass once we're old as our kids ship us off to homes.
My daughter has promised me that I don't need to worry when I start showing signs of senility or whatever. I am off to a home in a flash.
The staff at the nursing home in Germany panicked late Friday night when they realized 2 men had escaped. So they called the police, and the cops eventually found the 2 old guys at 3 in the morning at a concert. Not just any concert. The Wacken Open Air Festival in Schleswig-Holstein, Germany, which is the world's biggest heavy metal festival. This year's festival included Judas Priest, Vince Neil, and literally hundreds more bands. The police say that when they found the men, they were, quote, disoriented and dazed, but they didn't want to leave. Unfortunately for them, the police made them go back to the old folks' home. Man, we got 18 more bands to go here, dude.
Let's rock!
And maybe Facebook thinks that they help you find love. If they help you find love, you'll forgive them for giving away your most personal data for pennies and treating you like a puppet made out of garbage. Apparently, Facebook is testing a new dating feature. You'll be able to set up a dating profile that's separate from your main profile, and it looks like Facebook will recommend people to you based on your interest in mutual friends.
Isn't that what one of the sites already does?
eHarmony.
No, I mean uses Facebook stuff.
eHarmony, you don't pick them; they pick them for you.
No, but one of the sites already uses Facebook. I think it's Tinder, maybe. I don't know. A lot of them are
Tinder,
all owned by the same ones.
You're picking in Tinder. There's no word on when it could launch, but from the info that's leaked out, it seems like pretty much a finished product. So you could be seeing it soon.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. All right.
Ladies, all you need to do is ask, and the leader man will gladly go out with you.
Today's impossible question. We went over this last week, so you should know the answer.
Well, I won't.
A new study shows that doing this every 2 weeks can increase your life expectancy by 9. What is it?
Pressing your hands together and saying, we must increase our bust.
We just went over this. Going to concerts.
Oh, yeah.
55% of Americans say they keep
It's so logical, it's stuck in my mind.
55% of Americans say they keep a roll of this in their car.
Toilet paper.
That's right. Do you?
I don't.
$717 a year is what the average one of these cost the owner.
$1,700?
$717 a year.
What one of these cost the owner? A revolver.
A dog. $35 a year is what it costs to own a fish. 5,500 square feet is the size of the average American what?
Yard.
That's right, lawn. The average woman will own 111 of these in her lifetime.
111 pairs of shoes.
Purses. Shoes would be in the thousands, man.
111
purses.
That seems like a lot. By the time you cut out childhood before purses and all that, seems like 2 purses a year, I guess.
Over 70,000 of these are stolen out of cars every year. I would have never guessed this.
70,000 of these. I would
say handbags, but that's not it.
Jars of salted peanuts.
Airbags. Why the hell would you steal an airbag?
Well, they're worth money. I guess if you've got a Takata airbag in your car, you leave the door unlocked hoping somebody will steal it.
A survey asked people to name the best board game ever. The number one answer was
Risk.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
Number two was, and it's not Risk.
Number two, best board game. Sorry.
Clue. What happened to Candyland?
Candyland is a fabulous game for kids. I love that. So did my kids.
Yeah, and most adults can understand the rules too.
Yeah, I always struggled with it as an adult. But
Study says women born under the sign of Libra and Taurus are more likely to have this than other women.
Breast cancer.
Plastic surgery. All right, it's time for our Monday morning round of Yes or BS.
Wait a minute, we did that already.
I know, this is a different version of it. This is where we're just going to give Matt a statement. He just says yes or BS. It's that simple.
Well, which version was the other one on Monday?
It was
Inquiring minds want to know.
Two different sources here. Quit being difficult. All right, let's call this what it is. Our FKS test. Our friggin' know-it-all test.
FKS?
Let's just see how big of a know-it-all you really are.
Well, I'll start off by saying all starts with an A. Not
it
an S.
takes 10 seconds for the sound of thunder to travel a mile.
BS.
How long does it take?
Travel a mile, 8 seconds.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Remember when you see the flash of lightning, you start counting? Every time you hit a 5, it's a mile away.
Well, no, if I remembered that, I'd have gotten the answer right.
The cast of Glee has more songs, entered, let's see, the cast of Glee has had more songs enter the Billboard Top 100 than any other artist in history.
BS.
Yes. With 207. Drake has the second with 186.
Because the cast is not an artist. It is a bunch of artists.
The strongest muscle in the human body is the thigh.
Yes.
It's the tongue. The most popular dog
The most
named
complex one is the tongue.
The most popular dog in Poland is Snoopy.
Most popular dog in Poland is Snoopy. BS.
It is BS. What is it?
Scooby-Doo.
Burek. B-U-R-E-K.
What?
A knucklehead is actually a type of Harley-Davidson motorcycle engine.
Knucklehead. BS.
Yes, it is. Produced from 36 to 47, 1947. The reason male dogs lift their leg is they are trying to leave their mark higher so that it gives off the message that they are tall and intimidating.
That they are tall and intimidating? Yes.
It's true. A penny weighs more than a hummingbird.
Penny weighs more than a hummingbird. I'm going to say BS.
Yes, it does.
I've held a hummingbird a couple times, but
Birds do not urinate.
Yes.
True. They just poop on you.
Chickens are the pet that poops breakfast.
A flea can jump 1,000 times its own height.
Yes.
Nope, only 200 times. Still, it's like still like they still get on you.
Here's one for you. Fleas always land the opposite direction of the way they jumped.
Just to give you a perspective.
Wait a minute. Yes or BS, Steve?
I'm in the middle of this.
No, you aren't.
Just to give you a perspective, they jump only 200 times their height. But to put that in perspective, that's like you or me jumping as high as the Empire State Building. It is impossible to kill yourself by holding your breath.
True, yes.
That is true. Months that began on Sunday will always have a Friday the 13th.
Months that begin on Sunday will always have a Friday the 13th. BS.
Yes, they will. At a rate of 1 drop a minute, a leaking faucet can waste 900 gallons of water a year.
1 drop a minute? Yes.
That's true. After all these years, Elvis still holds the record for the most top 10 singles in the Billboard Hot 100.
Most top singles. Yes.
Nope, it's Madonna. She had 38. Elvis had 36. The square foot of 8 is 64.
I don't even know what the square foot of a number is.
This BS is 2.83. However, 8 times 8 is 64.
You said square foot.
All right, that's it. So it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you're here on our airways because they're the backbone of our economy here in North County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsley challenging you to go outside your comfort zone maybe and just be extra friendly to somebody today. Look them in the eyes, say good morning where you normally don't. Do something unusual. Stay tuned for